What's up, guys? It's Slender, and today I'm going to answer a question for Tristan Williams. Shout out to Tristan. He's the one that gave me an idea for this video, or gave me the idea for this video. And it's actually a question that used to get from a lot of company members. I don't know why I didn't even think about doing something like this before, but Tristan, I'm going to go ahead and answer these questions for you, give you some direction, give you an idea of what to do. Basically, Tristan was commenting on my video on how I got to 200K, what I was doing to make money, and he flat out told me, I'm actually going to read the comment right now. He said, all you did was sell items and didn't show how you were getting them. I just hit level 60. I have no help in the game. I don't know where to start. Tristan, I'm going to hook you up, bro. I'm going to hook you up real good. So, for anybody that is in the same position that just hit 60 and you just don't know where to go, what to do, like, okay, I finally got 60. What now? It can be daunting. You know, there is a lot of stuff in the game. There's a lot of different avenues you can take. There's a lot of different directions. And hopefully this is going to help clear all that up. So let's get right into it. Number one on the list, join a company. Do not join a company with 4 members, because if you do, you're not going to get any help. You're not going to get unless you have a really cool governor, you might get some help. Um, Join a bigger company. At least find a company that has a couple other 60s, so you guys can do this end game content together. But if you can find a bigger company, um, it's really going to help you out a lot. You can do this game solo. You can progress solo. You can do everything in the game solo. Um, you can get groups for dungeons. You can do still kind of get into invasions, wars, whatever. But being in a company will guarantee you more of that stuff. It's going to be easier to get in expeditions. It's going to be easier to get in wars, invasions, and all of the things I just mentioned are good ways to make money too. So get in a company, get some help. That's probably number one on my list, is get in a company, stop playing solo. But if you have to play solo, it is what it is. We're going to go on to step two, or number two, expertise. You're going to want to get your expertise up. The expertise system starts at level 60. So until level 60, you don't even have an expertise. And if you want a more in-depth explanation of expertise, or really any of these topics, I did an endgame video. You might even just want to, check that out. New World Endgame, what to expect. I go over some of the things I'm going to talk about now, but this is more geared towards people that just don't know where to go or what to do. So in a nutshell, and I'm not going to go too deep into this, expertise is basically the level at which gear will drop from mobs and chests and dungeons. So when you first hit level 60, your expertise for every slot, helmets, chests, gloves, legs, boots, shields, weapons, amulets, rings, earrings, all of these are going to be dropping at 500 when you kill stuff, when you kill the level 60 plus mobs. So when you're out there in the world, you're killing stuff, you're opening chests, the loot that you're going to get is going to start at gear score 500. And then once in a while, you're going to get lucky, you're going to get an expertise bump, and you may get a 501 or 502, and that's going to be your new expertise number. So I'm 590 across the board in all of my armor, my main weapons, and I'm working on my jewelry right now. So that's in a nutshell how expertise works, and I'm going to go over the 3 ways that you can get your expertise up, or the 3 main ways, the 3 best ways, the 3 most efficient ways. Number one, you're going to want to do expeditions. Genesis and Lazarus are the 2 level 60 end game dungeons, and you want to get in those as much as you can. So again, having a company is really going to help that out. You're going to get your best expertise bumps, your most frequent expertise bumps from the bosses, from chests. That's the number one thing that you're going to want to try to do. Making these keys to get in the dungeons is hard. I'm sure you guys all know what orbs are. You've been doing the dungeons all the way to 60. It's the same way. Now, the other way to get your expertise up is by doing this gypsum thing over here. There's gypsum kilns in all the high level, zones. And basically, you're going to get different types of gypsum from doing different events. So you get ruby gypsum from doing OPR, or Outpost Rush. You get obsidian from killing 60 plus elites. You get topaz from making a potion that you can make. It's like an attunement potion. You get citrines from arena bosses, sapphire from Lazarus and Genesis, amethyst from 60 plus portals, and diamond from like Christmas events, like this event right here. You can go touch the trees, activate the trees, and you'll get some diamond gypsum. Now, one other thing about gypsum, and again, I go over this in detail in my other video on, the end game stuff. Basically, you have to collect for sapphire, for example. You have to have at least one, and then you can make a gypsum orb. It's on cooldown right now. For emerald, you just need one gypsum, and that's on cooldown. Oh yeah, and emeralds you get from doing trade aptitude chests. So once you hit 200 in a trading skill, and if you don't know what aptitude is, it's just basically after you hit 200 in any profession, you can continue getting experience, and when you hit certain milestones, you'll get an attunement box, and you'll get some gypsum from doing that as well. So I'm going to make a gypsum orb just to really quick show you what I'm talking about. Once you have a gypsum orb like this, and I have a bunch of them I've been saving up, you can now make a gypsum cast. What a gypsum cast does is it guarantees you an expertise bump in whatever you want. You can specify it. You can only do one of these a day, but that's all going to change with this new January update. And anyway, going forward. So I'm going to make an earring cast with my gypsum orb. Once you have a gypsum orb, you can make the cast. And what this cast is going to do is it's going to increase my expertise for my earrings. Is that what I just did, earrings? So my earrings right now are 564. I'm going to open this up, and it's going to go to, hopefully, there we go, I got two expertise bumps guaranteed in something that I needed. So that's the other way you can get your expertise up. The third way, which is another, great way to do it, is by running elite zones. There's tons of different elite zones in this game. They're in Shattered Mountain, Reekwater, and Evanscale Reach, and then there's one in Eden Grove. So basically, what these are these are 60 plus elite zones where you're going to find elite mobs and trash and elite bosses. So you're going to get increased chances of getting expertise bumps from any elite mobs, elite chests, and elite monster or bosses rather. Sorry. So, God, I stumble over my words so much. I'm sorry. So the main elite zones that you're going to want to be going to, or I guess all of them, are the mines, which is called Ambusti Inferior, and you've probably seen people talking about this, mine runs, Merkguard, whatever. The other one is Merkguard. That's another elite zone, 66 plus. You've got Malevolence, which is 66 plus. You've got where is it? Reekwater. There's two different elite zones. One of them is Eternal Pools, and the other one is Forecastle Drift, or they call it Sirens. And then in Evanscale, it's Imperial Palace, which is down here. So basically, these are the zones or the areas that you want to start running because, again, there's elite mobs, there's elite chests, and there's elite bosses, and they're all going to give you increased chances of getting expertise bumps. Way more probability of getting a expertise bump than just going out in the world and killing random 60 mobs. Now, this is another reason you want to have a company because you can do these solo, and I did do some guides on how to run Imperial Palace solo, mines, malevolence, all that stuff. And I suggest you watch them because it's going to show you how to get through these elite zones by yourself. You don't have to kill anything. Well, you kind of have to kill some things. But yeah, you can actually go through these, get all the chests by yourself, and you could do these once a day. The elite chests are on a 24-hour cooldown, so you can only do it once a day, and it's well worth it. Each place has anywhere from like 7 to 12 elite chests that you can open up. So watch the videos, or ask your company. Get in a company, ask them to do some elite runs for you or with you. And if you don't want to do that, or if you don't want to try the solo thing, you can always go to chat, see if they're asking for people to run Merkguard, mines, etc. So those are the three ways you're going to want to get your expertise up. Now, aside from expertise, and the reason you want to get your expertise up is because once you hit 590, which is the cap right now, you're going to start getting world drops that are legendary. So you're going to get some of the best weapons and armor in the game. You can sell some of them if they're binding equip. It's just you want to get your expertise up. That's like the main thing that you want to do when you hit 60. So we talked about creating the gypsum orbs. We talked about creating the gypsum casts, the elite zones, the dungeons. I'm going to touch on one more thing about these dungeons. And I hate to keep plugging my own channel, but I made a video on how to get 2 free Genesis orbs and 2 free Lazarus orbs. And these are so good to get because they're so damn expensive to make. and hard to make. You have to have stonecraft or stone cutting. You have to have your PvP faction up so you can get chisels. I mean, it's a nightmare. Which again, this is going to get easier too when they do the January patch. But anyway, watch the video. It's how to get your 2 free Genesis and Lazarus orbs. If you're probably going to need a group. It is kind of tough stuff. If you're not really geared, it's going to be difficult. So find a group, or again, that's why you want to get a company. Being in a company is going to help you do all of these things a lot easier. So 2 free Genesis, 2 free Lazarus orbs, do those. And then once you're done with those, and your company will be more than happy to help you do those quest chains to get those free orbs, because they're going to want to get in Genesis and Laz too. That's like the main thing people are trying to do right now, because you're going to get amazing gear. It's going to get your expertise up. But it's kind of contradicting, because you also want to wait to do those dungeons until you have a high water or high expertise so that you can get the really good legendary drops. Because if you go in there with a 520 expertise, you can get the best in slot like bow from Lazarus, but it would only be 520. So that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Maybe try to get in other people's orbs and save your orbs from when you have actually high expertise, so you can get the best in slot weapons and armor. Now, other than that, you're going to want to get your gathering up. And I'm going to show you why you're going to want to get your gathering up. I'm not talking about professions. I'm just talking about mining, logging, harvesting or gathering. I used to play WoW. All those things, you're going to want to get those up, because you're going to want to start working on your cooldowns. And Tristan, this is how I got my cooldowns. This is how I made all that money. I made like 50 or 60K in one shot, and this is how I did it. So I'm going to explain this for you. Okay. So I'm just going to show you and give you guys a quick rundown on what cooldowns are. You've probably seen it in the chat. Want to buy cooldowns, want to sell cooldowns, want to sell Asmodium cooldowns. So I'm just going to show you one example, and this is Asmodium. Each station or each refining profession has a daily cooldown that you can make. For mining, it's called Asmodium. You can make 10 per day, and I'm going to actually make 10 of them right now. They're super expensive to make, but you get all these things by mining and gathering. You have to be level 200 in whatever profession we're talking about, and yeah, that's it. You have to be mining that ore. You have to go get that ore calcum. You have to get that star metal. You're going to need ingots, these legendary drops, and the reason they're so expensive and you can make so much money saving these is a couple things. You can only make 10 a day, so it's time gated. The other reason is because these are going to be used in every end game crafting recipe. So if you want to make legendary weapons, legendary armor, whatever, you're going to have Asmodium. You're going to have Phoenix Weave. You're going to have runic leather, runestone, glittering ebony. These are all the different cooldowns for each profession. I'll actually show you one more. The weaving one is called Phoenix Weave, and there it is. And you do these every day. And I just basically what I did is I saved up like 90 of each, and I just sold them all in the marketplace. Why? Because I already had my gear. I already have legendary gear. It's not all best in slot, but I do have, I've got other pieces as well that I actually crafted myself. So you're going to need all these cooldowns to craft that kind of stuff. Legendary rings, legendary weapons, legendary armor, light, medium, or heavy, it doesn't matter. And these recipes require like 3 different types. So one recipe might need Asmodium, runic leather, and glittering ebony. So they all tie in together. So you're going to want to start working on your gathering right away. You should start doing it since level 1. I would never skip, iron node. I would never skip fiber. I just grabbed all that stuff, but I have ADD, so that doesn't help anything. So other than your gathering, you're going to also want to start working on buying your houses. Now, there's a debate going on right now whether you want to get the small cheap house, the medium size house, or the large house. Now, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown what the difference is are between these different houses. So the small house is cheaper. And also, when you buy your first house, you're going to get like a 50% discount. So if a house normally costs 5,000 to buy, you're going to get it for 2,500. If it normally costs 20,000 to buy, you're going to get it for 10,000. So a lot of people say for your first house, buy the big one. Now the difference between, because you only get that first time buyer discount, you don't get it a second time. So if you buy a cheap $5,000 house for your first house, you're going to get it for 2,500. But if you decide later on that you want to get a nice big house, you're not going to get it for 10 grand. You're going to get it for 20 grand. So really think about it. Now, I have small houses. The reason is because they're cheaper. They're cheaper in taxes. And, I just wanted to save as much money as I could. The nice thing about the bigger houses is you can have more storage chests in those houses. I don't even know what the exact number is. This is just kind of like a general guide of what you guys want to do once you hit 60. But yes, the bigger houses will allow you to have more storage. Houses give you extra storage. You can create these boxes, storage boxes, put them in your house, and your town storage will have more space. Houses also let you use trophies. So I'm just going to show you really quick what the trophies do, what they're for, and the different types. So trophies are things that can give you global buffs no matter where you're at in the game. They have mining luck trophies, loot luck trophies, armoring trophies, and just to give you a quick rundown, like mining luck trophies, they're going to give you extra mining luck. So if you have 3 mining luck trophies, one in each house, you can have multiple trophies, but only one type per house. If you have 3 mining trophies, you're going to get not 3 times, but you're going to get additional luck when mining, which is going to give you an increased chance of getting those legendary materials. If you have logging trophies, it works the same way. You will get increased luck when logging, and you'll get an increased chance of getting those legendary logging materials. There's also crafting trophies. Like for example, I have armoring trophies, major armoring trophies. That's going to give me much better gear when I'm crafting gear. And if you want to get more information on that, just look up a crafting guide. And I think I made a couple videos on that too. You might want to check them out. So yes, you're going to want to start working on getting your houses. So start making money, start saving money, and start thinking about whether you want the small houses or the bigger houses. But that's another thing you want to do as soon as you hit 60 is start working towards getting your houses. And then, we'll start working on your trophies. Oh, and probably okay, so I got 2 more things for you that you're going to want to start doing. One is pick a profession. There's several different professions you can pick. I just did a video on what I think are the best professions, but that's completely subjective. Do your own research, decide what you want to do. What I did personally is I got armoring, and then my second profession, I got jewel crafting. And the reason, just a quick short explanation, the jewel crafting profession and the armoring profession share the same trophies. So you only need 1 set of trophies for both of those professions. There's no other 2 professions that kind of work in synergy like that. So that's another thing you're going to want to do. Start figuring out what profession you want to do. And on that note, you're going to want to kind of pick one and stick to it, and then start working on another one later, because it's a tough grind to get that profession all the way to 200. But you're going to need a profession that's going to give you a way to make money. It's going to give you something to do. And it's going to give you a reason to have trophies. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons, but it's also a lot of fun. This is a great crafting system. This game has amazing crafting. Take advantage of it. And, when you make money in this game, it's like, it's super satisfying. It's not like another game where you could just have millions and millions. When you make, 10K in this game, you feel like it's so satisfying. And you can't really do that without professions. And the very last tip I have, or not tip, but what you want to do when you hit 60, start grinding that faction rep. Whether you're Syndicate, whether you are Marauder, Covenant, it doesn't matter. You're going to want to start getting your reputation up, because it's going to give you an avenue of getting, to get really good gear right away. You can get like 520 gear from the faction rep, and it's actually not bad gear. So it's a good start. It's a good start to be able to get in those dungeons, actually do something. And the other thing about the other things that you can do, and we're going to get more options for this stuff when that January patch comes out. But right now, there's a couple things. You're going to have faction reputation and faction tokens to get your major, minor, and grand runes of holding. These runes of holding are used to make both storage chests for your houses and bags for your character. And that's another thing you want to work on. Start getting those better, bigger bags. Find bags with luck, craft bags with luck. You could do that with armoring. And yeah, so you're definitely going to want to start grinding your faction rep because you can make bags. You can get chisels for making the tuning orbs to get in Genesis and Lazarus. Without that, without this faction rep, you can't do those. You can't get the chisels. You can't buy them yet. They're going to be available with the new patch. That's going to change a lot of things. But as of right now, that's another thing that you can get that you're going to need for getting in those dungeons, those end game dungeons. And then again, it's just a way to get some gear right away without having to farm, without having to get lucky. You can get a quick set of gear. It's actually really decent. It's got resilient on it. It's got really good stats. So that is it, guys. If I missed anything, you know the drill. Let me know. Leave a comment if I got something wrong. Just hit me up. Let me know. And Tristan, I hope this helps you with your journey from 60 to whatever you're going to try to do. And good luck, my friend. That's all I got for you guys. Have a good night. Take it easy.